Hello everybody and welcome back to Manchester United's open training at a very sunny Carrington.
Yeah.
And it's not just Beth Attenborough today, we've got Maud Attenborough with us. I've got a co-commentator.
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to this, like really speaking quietly, but like I said, it's a great day, and you can see the boys coming out right now to start a quick training session.
ASMR, we're here for it. People love this stuff. But
Yeah.
as you can see there, no Delit, I can already see, which we thought was going to be the case. His injury did look quite serious.
Yeah.
I'm just checking if Ahmad is there. Can you see Ahmad yet? Not everybody's
Not
out
everyone's
yet from
out
training.
yet, so
Harry Maguire's just walked in. Casemiro and Mazraoui having a little bit of a chat there.
Yeah.
What I would say is it's great to see Nusa Mazraoui because he was out of the last game against Brentford. He just wasn't even in the squad.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wondering, is Mazraoui injured? But it seems like Ruben Amorim just wanted to take him out of the squad, give him a bit of a rest because he's been playing so many minutes.
Yeah, it's a good precaution. I mean, he's such a vital player for us, the amount of positions he can play, and especially in terms of that right-hand side, he's probably one of the best players that we have right now. So it's a good thing that he's back in training, and I'm definitely sure he'll probably start the next game.
Absolutely, especially because so far we cannot see any Diogo Dalot either. I think it was going to be a stretch to see him. We know he's working hard to get back for the final, but he, as we've seen at Carrington in most of these training videos, he's always the first player out the train.
Yeah,
so the fact he's not
yeah.
here yet means he's not going to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, a few other faces that we can see.
Mason Mount coming out.
Mason Mount coming out. It's great to see him survive yet another game.
100%.
It's feeling like I don't want to jinx it, Mods, but Mason Mount has been fit for a considerable amount of time and he's got through starting a game as well.
I mean, you say considerable amount of time. It's been about 2 weeks now, which for
It's
Mason
been longer
Mount,
than that.
Has it? Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
playing football, yeah. To be fair, I mean, he did start his first game in a while. One of the past few games. So, I mean, look, you're right. A couple of players coming out. Ahmad's here.
Yeah, the youngsters are coming out.
Yeah.
Lenny Yoro, Alejandro Garnacho, Ahmad, Camerson. You can see the youngsters coming out together. I think that's quite nice that you have like that bond within the squad.
Yeah, and one thing I also saw as well was Chido came out with Hoyland. I mean, that's two of our main strikers, to be fair. I think it's clearly something that they probably both have a good relationship, knowing that both of them have a similar role in this team, especially leading up to the end of the season. They're both going to be rotating in and out of the team. I think it's good to see them both actually connecting and having a bit of a relationship together.
Yes, and with the youngsters as well, you can see the youngsters that are joining us in training. You've got Camerson there, which is obviously a great experience for him. I don't think he's played a minute yet for the United first team, but he's been a prominent figure in the training sessions. Chido looks like he's a first team regular now. He's always in the training sessions. Harry Armas as well is another one who always seems to be in the training sessions. And next to Harry Armas, Fredrickson as well. Harry Armas and Tyler Fredrickson, Chido, all obviously got the first starts, didn't they, Mort, against Brentford? I know for sure Chido's ineligible in the Europa League, but they'll want to keep this training up because you also have West Ham on Sunday where I think, again, Ruben Amorim with the quick turnaround is probably going to be looking to the youth a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, as we can see right now, Luke Shaw's coming back out as another player.
Last one here. He's been on. We'll say he's been on the physio table for a while. Not that he's just the last one out.
Just making sure, we don't want any slip-ups. Cobby as well, he's out as well.
That's nice to see.
But yeah, on the young players, I think it is important, even though, yes, we always say that the Premier League's kind of done, but for pride-wise, you still want to win each and every game. Even if you're a young player or an experienced player, you still want to go out there and win naturally as a professional footballer. And also, these guys, they might not get as much opportunities next season. You don't know where they're going to be. They might not even, some of them might go on loan, some of them might get sold. So this could be their last opportunity to get some game time for Man United. So I think it still is important that they all get involved in the games and these training sessions.
Yeah, we just seen Amorim shouted Chido's name out.
Yeah.
Is it because he got his first start for United? He's getting a clap.
Potentially.
I don't know why.
I mean, it looks like they're about to line up.
Pardon? Youngest player
to start for United.
Ever start
in a Premier League game.
Manchester United in a Premier League game. So he's gonna go through the tunnel here and get slaps off everyone. I'm pretty sure.
Probably the tallest player out there right now.
He does not look 17, does he?
It's crazy.
Oh, Mason as well. Is it because he got? Oh, it's because he scored. Yeah, I was going to say, is it because he managed to start a game?
And
Luke Shaw as well. I think it's because he managed to start a game. I honestly think they're getting slaps for being able to start a game. Luke Shaw and Mason Mount. Yeah, Mason Mount maybe for scoring, and Chido for being the youngest ever United player to start.
I love that the team chemistry. I know sometimes people might think that there's some. I know in the past there's been like conversations of certain players don't like each other. But when you look at the training sessions, there seems to be a lot of fun going on. Everyone seems to really like each other, and I mean you could tell just by then that they're all enjoying. They're all happy about each other's success. I mean, someone like Chido, very very young player, huge achievement being the youngest player to start a Premier League game, and I'm sure that all of these other players are giving a lot of encouragement and confidence going forward. So I really like this.
So do I, and I would absolutely say, especially of late, that there seems to be, and I think more so, to be honest, under Ruben Amorim, just from my observations of the small chunks of training sessions, is that the camaraderie and team spirit does seem to be more prominent.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And it's also a good thing that you see the young players and the older players really connect, because we always speak about experience versus potential in this United team, and sometimes it feels a bit lopsided, sometimes a bit too much experience. Not too much experience, but more older players than young players, and sometimes it feels like there's a lot more younger players than older players. But right now, looking at their team, it seems like there's a really good balance between the youth and the academy, and also the players that obviously had their fair share of a career at United or throughout other teams. So I really like it.
Absolutely. Even there in that circle, you can see the likes of Camerson and Ahmad, and then you can see Bruno Fernandes, the leader in that team, and Casemiro as well.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people sometimes, they're so obsessed with age, and once a player gets over 30, you think that is it. Of course, you don't want to keep players for too long, but senior players are so important, especially for important games in Europe. And even Casemiro, who a lot of people thought he was wrote off, he's proved vital, and we might not even still be in this competition if it wasn't for him.
Oh, we wouldn't.
That's worth keeping him.
We literally wouldn't be in this competition if it wasn't for him. And he's a serial winner. The amount that he's won, most people, I'd say literally 99% of players wouldn't even achieve 1% of what he's won in his career. I mean, the Champions League alone, he scored goals in Champions League finals. He's been there, he's been vital and important to one of the best teams we've ever seen. So you don't just lose that. Yeah, you might lose the physical aspect, because that's just how humans work, but you don't lose that knowledge, you don't lose that IQ, the understanding of the game, and that's what really matters in the later stages in football matches. What do you remember from those past experiences? What do you remember when you're in that Champions League final, that semi-final? What have you learnt? And that's something that Casemiro has in abundance.
And I do think in these recent Europa League ties, it's the experienced players that have stepped up. Bruno Fernandes obviously was so crucial in that away game against Athletic Club, and on other games as well. Harry Maguire, another over 30s club. Casemiro, they've been the three best players, you'd say, over the course of the last few Europa League games. Mazraoui, a big shout out to him, another senior player as well. They've been the best players. They've been the ones that have been getting Manchester United over the line. And I think, Alejandro Garnacho, he's going to be in the press conference a little bit later. A young player that's got a lot of criticism this season. But I think over recent games, he's really stood up to that and proved to be quite important. And to be gaining this experience and having so much pressure on his shoulders at 20 years old, to be probably the main attacker for Manchester United, he's going to learn so much from that. And I think he already is under Amorim. You can see his game evolving, can't you?
Yeah, 100%. And one thing about Garnacho is, he's a young player, and I don't think that's something that anyone would doubt. I mean, he's 20 years old, something like 20, 21 years old.
But he's 20 still,
He's still 20 years old. So him and even someone like Kobe, they're both young, but they've actually got a lot of experience when you think about it, especially compared to the rest of the team. I mean, they both played probably over 100 games for United. They both played around other super experienced players. I mean, Garnacho's playing with Ronaldo and he played with Messi. You're going to learn a lot. Even playing for the Argentina team, that obviously went on to, they won the World Cup a few years ago. He would have learned a lot just from being around those kind of players. So Garnacho, even though he's young, you have to understand he's still a pretty experienced player, and he's definitely learned a lot in the last couple of years of playing at this level football. And
you've got to think about the kind of United team he's playing with. I think the leaders really have risen since Ruben Amorim's come in, and the group does seem more together, and it does seem like it has more cohesion. But this United team over recent years has been a little bit all over the place. And if you look at this stat, which I'll bring in, the only under-21s across Europe's top 5 leagues who have 10 plus goals and 10 plus assists in all competitions this season are Yamal, Ryan Cherky, Barcola, Jude Bellingham, Florian Wirtz, Desire Doué and Alejandro Garnacho. They're the only ones. So every single other one of them players, if you would ask, I'm pretty sure near enough every United fan, if you'd want Yamal, Cherky, Barcola, Bellingham, Wirtz, Doué, they'd all say yes. And the fact that Garnacho gets into that group, sometimes maybe do we need to appreciate what we've got and understand that there is some raw talent there that Ruben Amorim looks like maybe he can work with, because I've got to be honest, myself included, did sort of start to write Garnacho off because I didn't think he'd be able to play the system, but I think he has proved over the last few months under Amrim's coaching he's sort of adapting.
Yeah, look, I think when you look at some of the names that you mentioned there, yes, obviously the Jude Bellinghams and Lamine Yamals, they're in the conversation for best player in the world in general, not just young players, but some of the other players. You look at the teams that they play for and the level of pressure that they have. It's not as much as being, one of the main players for Manchester United. I mean, look at someone like Cherki, great player, great young player, but I mean, he's playing France under 21s, so you don't have the pressure of that, and he's playing for a team that, let's be honest, they're not really competing for a title or anything huge. I mean, their biggest game was probably against Manchester United, so he's probably got a lot less pressure than somebody like Garnacho, who every single game, it's not about trying to prove himself, it's you have to actually perform today. You haven't got the time and the effort or the leeway to kind of make mistakes, because we've needed you for the past season and a half, to be fair. So I think that the level of pressure that Garnacho has compared to everybody else is just a lot higher and a lot bigger, which is probably part of the reason why he gets so much criticism from a lot of people. But you're right, I mean, the numbers don't lie. He's been putting up good numbers for like I said, about 2 seasons now, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be slowing down. He does seem to be getting a little bit better, to be fair, the past recent games. But look, it's one of them ones. I think he's always room for improvement, but I think we should actually give some credit where credit's due for a player like Garnacho.
I agree. I also think he does have a lot of game time as well, which can help, but also can hinder, because it's more opportunity for people to start getting on your backs, but also it's more opportunity for you to go out there and get them numbers. Just quickly, how funny is Andre Nana? Getting involved as one of the outfield players there, just sliding around. He's absolutely laughing his head off, by the way.
It.
You can tell he's a well-liked character within the group.
Definitely.
It's just a shame that he's maybe not performed to the levels that a lot of United fans and probably the United players themselves and Ruben Amorim would want. But tomorrow is going to be another opportunity for him to put out a solid performance, because he was solid in the first leg against Athletic Club. But Athletic Club are going to be wanting to score an early goal. What's crucial is Andre Nana stands firm, doesn't make any mistakes, and has a good performance. I think if we're not talking about Onana at the end of the night, that's a good thing.
It's a good thing, I agree. And at the start of the season, I'd say probably up until around that Arsenal game, I can't remember exactly what game it was, but he was actually pretty solid for us. And I remember making a point on one of the fan forums that the fact that we haven't spoke about Onana in about 6 weeks means that he's definitely doing a good job, because you don't really want to have to speak about your keeper every week unless he's doing something amazing. So if you can just get that form back where, like you said, he's not in the headlines, he's not having people speak about him for whatever reason, whether it's mistakes and whatnot, I just hope that he can carry this on. And to be fair, so far he's actually, the past couple of games I'd say anyway, he has kind of settled down a little bit more, and especially considering that Bayern is, you can see him on the other side, but Bayern is also back from injury. Maybe that might give a little bit of a reason for him to actually control his mistakes a little bit more and have better games, knowing that there's competition literally just on the other side.
Switch on a bit more.
Switch on a little bit more.
I mean, you can see Kobe and Ahmad there in the middle, both obviously very good friends, and they're a good duo together. I think both technically so gifted, and when they're playing together, it's amazing to see. I think I love it when technical players like that play together. I think both of them are in line for a start tomorrow night. Kobe didn't obviously start the first leg, and a lot of people are maybe a little bit shocked about that, and isn't maybe a regular starter under Amorim. But do you think he'll start tomorrow?
You're talking about Kobe Mainoo right now, yeah?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Ahmad will start as well.
Ahmad will start, it's difficult with Kobe, just because, one, I have a very strong feeling that Garnacho will start, especially because he's in the presser. Usually the guy in the presser usually starts. So I have a strong feeling Garnacho starts, and Kobe realistically is going to start in the 10 if he is going to start in this game, just because we know Casemiro and Ugarte have been a regular in those 2-6 positions. So that just leaves one more space open, and we all know who that space is going to go to. He's going to go to Bruno Fernandes. So I'm not too sure that he is going to start. However, I'm actually not that concerned, just because we've got good players. It's not a case of he's not good enough or he's been dropped or whatever. There's other players that can play that position, and we all know that he's had a huge impact into this team coming off the bench. We saw that Lyon game. So look, as long as he gets some minutes, I think that's good for Kobe Mainoo.
I agree. I think you hit the nail on the head there when you talk about Garnacho starting, and I do think it'll be Casemiro and Ugarte again. But let's see, get in the comments down below your thoughts. Who impressed you in training? Who are you excited to see tomorrow night? Your predictions, everything like that. Do you enjoy the co-commentary? Some are calling us Martin Tyler and Gary Neville over here, but thank you very much. Maybe not on certain games. I don't know. See if that's complete or not. But thank you for watching, everyone.